Hello, welcome to the data validation using Microsoft Excel class. I am your training facilitator, Timothy Oyelaki. This is brought to you by Fellows Consultancy Services. I'll be taking through the practical steps on how to create data validation using Microsoft Excel. Follow me through the journey. So this is Microsoft Excel and it is used for data entry. And one of the key things while doing data entry is to avoid errors while typing or avoiding duplications while doing your data entry. So this is like a spreadsheet showing different columns, serial number, name, gender, age, level of education, employment status, and IQ score. And if care is not really taken, people can end up making errors while doing this data entry. But with data validation, it helps us to avoid errors while doing our data entry. So I would like to take us through this process. So the first thing I need to do is to define what your variables categories are. So we have serial number here is an identifier. We call it unique identifier. A unique identifier is something that is used to track a particular observation or a particular variable. So looking at this, we cannot really say it's a variable, but we can call it an identifier. Yes, I think that would be the appropriate word. Then we have name. Name here is, we can call it a non-numeric variable. Gender also as non-numeric. Age is a numeric variable. Level of education is non-numeric. Employment status is non-numeric, while IQ score is numeric. So that means we have two categories of data, numeric and non-numeric, or we call it quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative means it's quantifiable, that is numeric, while qualitative means it is categorical, that is non-numeric. So for the serial number, we can have the number from 1 to the very last person there. So definitely this column A for this serial number will not accommodate letters. So we need to very clear on that. Now for name, when we have name, definitely we expect that name should contain just letters. And when you are typing the letters, you're not expected to put word figures there or exclamation mark on symbols, yes, except maybe hyphen for compound names. But for gender, we can have either male or female depending on the category of gender you have in your specific country. And we have age, which are in numbers. So the very first thing you need to do is to create what we call a data dictionary for the variables that are categorical. So if you look at this cell in this sheet, this next sheet after data entry, we click on data category, we have list of options that this variable should have. So for gender, we have male and female. We have level of education, primary, secondary, tertiary. The list can be more than that. Then for employment status, we have employed, unemployed, and self-employed. So how do we now make these variables validated using data validation? So there is this option in Microsoft Excel. We call it data validation tool. So it's under data. So when you click on data and you come to data tools, you see right here data validation. You say pick from a list of rules to limit the type of data that can be entered in a cell. Don't forget, the essence is to avoid what? Errors while doing data entry. So if you click on this arrow, you have the list. So the very first thing you are clicking then is the data validation. So when you see the data validation prompt, or I would say the dialog box, it has three different options. It has the settings, input message, and error alert. Now for the settings, we have things that can be allowed. We have any value, whole number, decimal, list, date, time, text length and custom. This is applicable based on the kind of validation you want to adopt. Then for the next one is input message. Input message means by the time you click on the cell, what message do you want the data entry expert or clerk should see? So that is where the input message is. Why error alert shows, it pops up when what is not expected to be in that cell is included. So let's quickly do this for the variables that we have. So for gender, since we have the data validation already, the data dictionary, I mean, we are going to click on this cell, which is cell C2, and click on data validation. So what we want to do is to create a drop down. Drop down is also one of the means of creating data validation. So what is the option for drop down in this allow drop down list? We have it as list. So you can see once we click on list, it's going to bring a source. So look at the option here, ignore blank and in cell drop down. So ignore blank means that you are not expected to leave any cell empty. The person can either be a male or a female. Now when you click on this source, we now have to go and get the list which was included in the data dictionary. So once you click on the data dictionary, you then highlight the two options, which is male and female. And once you have done that, you click OK. We are not including an input message or an error alert because it's a drop down. So it's not going to allow any other thing aside what is in the drop down. So once we click on OK and you come back to C2, you can see the drop down here. It has just male and female. So this is only applicable to cell C2, but we want it to extend to other cells. So we can drag, that's the fill, can drag this. Look at your cursor. The color of your cursor is white taped with black. But once you place your cursor on this square box at the edge of this cell, the green cell, it changes to a black plus sign. Once you click on that, you can drag. You drag systematically. So that means that all the cells that has been dragged to is going to have the drop down. Why where it is not dragged to, we now have the drop down. Now for age, we want to assume that the minimum age for people that you are getting this data from are from 11 years and above. So what do? We are not going to allow any other age aside 11, from less than 11 years. So we go back to our data validation. Don't forget you need to click the cell you want that to be affected. When you click on data validation, you go to all numbers and you can see an option here. There is an option here. Do you want it to not between, equal to, not equal to, greater than? So we want it to be from 11 years and above. So that means we're going to start from 10 years. We'll say greater than, minimum is what? 10. So once we click on that, then want to put the input message. What's the input message? You can use age as the title and say no age below 11 years. Yeah. So once you do that, that is the input error. And what will be the error alert? Age. So we put it as a title again. It means no age less than 11 years. Yeah. So once you do that, you clear OK. So how do we see this affected? Look at the cell now. Look at the cell now. Okay. So if I type 2 years, it's going to tell me, because I already created an instruction that no age less than 11 years. If you retry, it's going to say, so you can now put, let's say 12 years. It's going to accept it. I hope you got that. Let's do say that again. You include that in the error alert. And for the input message, yeah, you click on that. So once you come here, you say 3 years. It's not going to come up. It's going to give you that prompt. So that's it. That means that nothing below 11 years is accepted here. So we can do that again, and yeah, scroll down. So you can see something happened here. Immediately you click on the cell, it's going to give you the input. It means no age below 11 years. Now let's do for level of education the same way we did for age. We come here and say data validation, settings, list. Yeah, then you come to source, data dictionary, then you highlight. There are different ways you can highlight. You can use your mouse, or you click on this, press the shift button on your keyboard, and you scroll down. Then you say okay. So once you click on this, you have the list of the level of education. Then you can then fill this for the other cells. Now let's do for employment status as well. I hope you remember employment status is also a drop down. So we come to data dictionary and say we bringing out the option here. So we go back to our cell F2, come to data validation, settings, that's imp list. Then you come here and you say you highlight these three options, and yeah, this is applicable. Okay, you say okay. So if you come back here, you have this now as the drop down. Now for IQ score, the minimum IQ score is 40, while the maximum is 160. So we want to create this cell to ensure that nothing out of those ranges are included. So we still go back to our data validation, and we say, so this time around we say whole number. So that will be between what? Minimum is 40 and maximum is 160. Yes. Then we come to input message and say IQ. So we say no IQ score below 40 and above 160. Yeah, that is the input message. They will come to the error alert and say stop. So the error alert has three styles. You can say stop, you can say warning, and you can say information. So we can put it as either stop or warning. So let's say warning, it is still IQ, and we say IQ score ranges from 40 to 160. Yeah, so we do that and say okay. So you can look at the input, no IQ score below 40 and above 160. And if you click 25, let's say we have 25, to give us that prompt, say IQ score ranges from 40 to 160. You can say yes. Okay, so that is the validation. So that also applies to this. So we just fill down, and we do that for this to fill down. So what is the essence of this? It will help you to avoid errors in data entry, and this is very key and vital. I hope I've been able to explain this explicitly. So look forward to another video on what we can do with Excel. Um, so for more information and for more training, you can reach out to the contact on your screen and the email. Then you can also follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook. Thank you very much. I'm still Timothy Oyelaki.